The rising sun in the sky was like a gigantic ball of yarn floating in a vast blue sea, slowly unraveling its golden threads across the waves. The new day brought with it the promise of adventure, and for one baby sea otter, it was a day just like any other. He woke up from his slumber, stretched his little paws, and yawned widely, revealing two adorable pink tongue rollers. As the first rays of sunlight hit his fur, he opened his eyes. His whiskers twitched as he sniffed the air, catching the scent of the ocean breeze and the sweet smell of kelp. He could hear the rhythmic crashing of waves and the cheerful chatter of his fellow sea otters. It was going to be a wonderful day. His mother, a sleek and graceful creature with fur as dark as midnight, nuzzled him affectionately. Her eyes, like shiny black beads, glistened with love and amusement. She knew her little one couldn't wait to start exploring. "It's time for your breakfast, little one," she said, her voice a soft, melodious hum. "And then we'll go on an adventure." He squealed with delight, his tiny body wiggling with excitement. Adventures were his favorite part of the day. Each rock, each shell, and each seaweed forest was a thrilling discovery waiting to be unveiled. After a hearty breakfast of fish, he was ready to embark on his morning escapade. As he tumbled out of the kelp forest, he saw his papa waiting for him. His papa was a strong and playful otter with a heart as big as the ocean. He had a small scar over his left eye, a badge of honor from a daring adventure long ago. "Ready for some fun, little guy?" his papa asked, his voice a deep rumble that echoed the strength of the waves. The baby otter could only nod enthusiastically, his eyes shining with anticipation. His papa chuckled, a sound like pebbles being tossed in a stream, and with a flick of his powerful tail, he disappeared into the shimmering depths. Curious and excited, the little otter followed. The underwater world was a kaleidoscope of colors. Sunlight streamed down from the surface, painting dancing patterns on the sandy bottom. Schools of silvery fish shimmered past, their scales flashing like mirrors. Bright purple sea urchins clung to rocks, and shy seahorses swayed gracefully in the current. As he swam, he played hide-and-seek with the colorful pebbles that littered the seabed. Sometimes he pretended they were tiny otters trying to hide from him. Other times, he imagined they were his prey and pounced playfully on them. He came across a giant kelp forest, its fronds swaying in the current like an underwater meadow in the wind. Here, the sunlight was dim and the water was still, creating a peaceful atmosphere that was perfect for a little otter to rest. He climbed onto a rock, nestled between the kelp stalks, and closed his eyes, the gentle sway of the fronds lulling him into a peaceful slumber. The warmth of the rock and the muffled sounds of the ocean around him made it hard to believe that anything could disturb him here. But as the sun climbed higher in the sky, the water began to warm and the peaceful quiet was shattered by a sudden commotion. A large shadow loomed over him, blocking the sunlight and sending ripples through the water. Startled, he looked up to see a huge sea turtle swimming directly towards him. The turtle was enormous, its shell as big as the rock he was sitting on. Its ancient eyes, like polished amber beads, seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. The sight of the majestic creature sent a shiver of fear down his spine. The turtle stopped in front of him, its head emerging from its shell. It regarded him with an expression that was both curious and kind. The baby otter couldn't help but stare back, mesmerized by the creature before him. In that moment, he forgot his fear and was filled with awe. The turtle was a living legend, a creature of the deep whose life had spanned decades. He had heard tales of these gentle giants from the elder otters, stories of their longevity and their quiet grace. But hearing about them and seeing one up close were two different things entirely. The turtle stayed with him for a while, its presence a soothing balm to his racing heart. Then, as if satisfied with the surprise visit, it dipped back into the water, leaving him alone again in the kelp forest. Shaking off his lingering fear, he decided to make the most of the rest of his day. He swam through the kelp, chasing after curious fish and playing with the dancing pebbles. He even managed to find a few treasures, like a shiny abalone shell and a sea star that had lost its way. As the afternoon wore on, he started to feel a twinge of sadness. He had been having so much fun that he hadn't noticed the sun climbing towards the horizon. Soon, it would be time to head back to the safety of the kelp forest, where his mom would be waiting with a cozy den and a dinner of fresh fish. With a sigh, he turned towards home, the thought of another exciting day tomorrow giving him something to look forward to. Back at the kelp forest, his mother greeted him with a happy chirp. She nuzzled him, checking for any signs of scratches or tiredness. Relieved to see him unharmed, she led him to their den, a cozy space lined with soft kelp leaves. As he snuggled into the comforting darkness, he felt a deep sense of contentment. His day had been full of adventure, a perfect blend of exploration, discovery, and a little bit of friendly fright. His mother curled up beside him, her warmth chasing away any remaining chill from his adventure. The gentle rise and fall of her breathing soon lulled him into a peaceful sleep, his dreams filled with visions of turtles, treasures, and endless blue. In the quiet of the night, the ocean was alive with activity. Tiny plankton danced in the moonlight, while schools of fish shimmered through the water, their scales catching the faint glow. The rhythmic crash of waves provided a soothing melody, a constant lullaby to the creatures of the deep. For the baby sea otter, this nightly symphony was a familiar tune, one that had cradled him to sleep since the first night he had been born. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the water, he stirred in his sleep. He had a tiny nightmare, a tangle of darkness and strange shapes that made him whimper softly. But his mother was there, her presence a comforting anchor in his dream world. She nuzzled him, her touch chasing away the shadows and guiding him back to safety. He snuggled closer to her, his small body trembling slightly, seeking the warmth and security she provided. In the vast and sometimes scary ocean, he was lucky to have her by his side. As the night deepened, the moon and the waves continued their timeless dance, serenading the sleeping sea otter. And as the first hint of dawn touched the horizon, he drifted back to sleep, his dreams filled with the gentle light of day and the promise of another wonderful day.